Here is Donald Trump complaining that, and this is really actually classic Donald Trump. As you know, he would often stiff contractors working for him. He never, ever paid his bills. Here, he's just complaining about it.
The United States is one out of 193 countries in the United Nations, and yet we pay 22% of the entire budget and more. In fact, we pay far more than anybody realizes. The United States bears an unfair cost burden, but to be fair, if it could actually accomplish all of...
I don't know what's going on in Zimbabwe. They cut to the Zimbabwe delegation, just sort of like, you got to be kidding me.
Wait, Mugabe's actually there himself?
Is that right?
That's Mugabe. Wow. I didn't realize that.
He seems to be looking
Mugabe's
on in genuine appreciation.
Yeah, the one with glasses, sort of with his head in his hand. He's in his upper 80s now.
But there are some incredibly poor countries in the sitting in the audience. There are countries who have been devastated by hurricanes or droughts or civil wars. And to hear Donald Trump whine that the United States pays 1/5 of the budget of the United Nations, it's got to be pretty.
When Barbuda can't even get the IMF to forgive a loan, they're like, we'll just re-up you. Definitely not forgive.
Payday loan type of thing. This one, you're going to get another one. Yeah. But let's continue because Donald Trump is now going to move on to be fair.
Accomplish all of its stated goals.
Right.
If it could actually accomplish all of its stated goals, especially the goal of peace, this investment would easily be well worth it. Major portions of the world are in conflict, and some, in fact, are going to hell. But the powerful people in this room, under the guidance and auspices of the United Nations, can solve many of these vicious and complex problems. The American people hope that one day soon the United Nations can be a much more accountable and effective advocate for human dignity and freedom around the world. In the meantime, we believe that no nation should have to bear a disproportionate share of the burden, militarily or financially.
And by human dignity, I mean I'm going to kill everyone in North Korea.
Would that be more dignified? Earlier, he had said, and this is, whatever, typical Republican nonsense. But yes, he did earlier make the point, and it's true, that there's human rights violators that sit on the Human Rights Commission in the same speech where he overtly promised a war crime. I don't think Gaddafi ever did that. I actually don't think that might be a first at the UN.
That's a first. Yeah. Both complain about the failure of human rights and annihilating an entire country's worth of civilians seems like gotta be one of the top 5 human rights violations. But I would also add here that you've got Trump saying that we should be able to do this right. Another instance of him requiring others to do what he's not capable of doing. His whole campaign was a function of this is going to be easy. And he hasn't been able to do really anything. Maybe, I guess, appoint a Supreme Court justice. But this same attitude of just get it done. Make world peace, and then maybe we'd feel good about doing 20%.
The world not going to hell. Whoever would have thought it would have been so complicated.
Well, that's Donald Trump. We got to take a break. That's your president, ladies and gentlemen, at the United Nations. Sorry. Sorry, rest of the world.
Can I just give you 10
Sorry about that.
Can I just take 10 seconds? I just noticed that people who had zero, that's my country, that's my president, sort of romanticism or West Wingism, with Trump, whatever part of you that you realize didn't have that comes out. You're like, oh my God, that is so embarrassing. Bush wasn't that embarrassing, right? I mean, I know he's embarrassing.
Bush was pretty embarrassing.
I get
It's
it,
just
but
that
of
Bush
course,
has
but not
set
at
the
that
bar
level,
lower.
right?
Well, no, but I mean, you know, if we'd gone straight to Trump, it would have been pretty crazy.
Oh, I see what you mean. But I set the stage. The stage for Trump.
Yeah. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos